For anything to happen on the first movie, we had to make it happen.
Yeah.
For every single step. There were people who became department heads, and then we didn't have to, we would answer their questions or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Nico. Killed it with a wardrobe.
Absolutely.
You know,
Isabella came in with stories on the makeup. That was really cool.
But in order to do that, we would have to find those people.
Yeah.
If we didn't have our hands actively on the boulder, it wasn't going up the hill.
It was
pushing back against us.
We were figures of Greek tragedy.
Yes, Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time, that's we are chasing the boulder. The
boulder's running down the hill.
Toward production.
The boulder.
Just toward production. And we are just running with it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I've always said I wanted.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, if only there were some people who could do all this stuff.
We aren't the team. We are part of the team.
Exactly.
Last time, I could feel the end of my life coming towards me, like the fuse on a bomb.
Yeah.
And this time, it's a lot of work.
I could feel.
But I don't feel like it's coming towards me.
No, now the difference is, okay, so it's almost the exact same timeline of when we launched the campaign to when we needed the campaign to be done so that we could then make the movie.
That's wild.
But now, so many things have happened on the movie.
And also, did I already say this? I'm sorry if I did. We're getting a chance to fix the mistakes we made the first time.
Yeah?
We have already applied for the film tax credit.
Film tax credit. What is it? I never knew. I just know that states offered tax credits against the movie.
I think somebody asked me if we had a film tax credit on the first day on set on Hot Season. I was like, do what? Film tax credit? I called down to the state of Illinois office and I was like, I just found out. Is there some kind of deferred application? Is there anything I can do? And they were like,
no. First of all, you got to have it before production. What a film tax credit is that for everybody that you hire that's from that state, their salary goes towards the credit.
Yeah.
For every, rental thing that you do from within a company in state. All of these things get rolled into a tax credit that you get money back on the money that you put into the state.
So
employees, equipment.
This is a huge incentive that some states have set up. Not all states do. Wisconsin does not have a film tax credit. Illinois does. Georgia has to.
There's
that's why many thank you to the state of Georgia's at the end of every film.
That's why so much of production moved to Georgia because I don't know what they're.
New Mexico has to.
Yes, New Mexico was the big one. That's right after Breaking Bad. New Mexico became the big one. Then Atlanta became the big one. For a while, Chicago was the big one, around the time of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. But the Illinois state tax credit is still good. And then once you have all of your things filled out and you're keeping rigorous track of the Illinois expenses that you're making, then you get that money back. So in order to use that money ahead of time, you get a loan against the state tax credit because that's money that you can guarantee based on Illinois' commitment.
Yep.
It's wild.
Subsidizing.
It's subsidizing the movie.
Yeah.
And this is something that everybody uses that we had no idea how to actually utilize.
Because we've never made a movie before.
So, but now, yes, X's of Christmas Past has submitted the film state tax credit. X's of Christmas Past has submitted to the Screen Actors Guild. All of our signatory process. Especially the SAG thing is very important because we are working with a Chicago casting director. All right? Eliza signed the contract today.
Last time, who did the casting?
Us and Steve. That was us. We were doing the casting. From the very beginning, all of the Zooms were from this room in here.
Yeah.
We're going to find out how this whole deal works now because you just signed the contract. We're working with Claire Simon Casting. Simon Casting in the city of Chicago. They cast all this stuff. They cast all the Chicago shows.
And you did several.
When I was an auditioning actor, I auditioned at Simon Casting,
Just another little...
It's super, super cool.
Yeah.
I always said, this is too hard, I'm quitting. This is too hard, I'm quitting. Every time we were making Pops, I was always quitting.
I still do that. When I have a hard day at work, at the end of the day, I quit.
Once Kiddo arrived, and I was like, okay, I can't do this. This takes too much time and money. And then it kicked back in. I can't be quitting all the time anymore. The cost is too high.
Yeah.
Life as a family, real job I have with Rob that pays me, your real library job you have, we have real jobs.
Yep.
We have a child.
Yep.
I can't keep quitting all the time. And now we've signed a couple contracts. Money is going to be spent. Whether the production gets kicked down the road or happens now, we are 1 month and 3 days away from filming. 1 month and 2 days by the time this uploads. Also, WeFunder. Right after the last time we shot one of these updates, kicked through the 50K.
Thank you.
That it was the hurdle we needed to get over to get to
Filing our Form C.
Filing our Form C. That's, again, how WeFunder
Yes.
does it. Then we jumped through all the legal hoops. We answered all the questions. All of the things that with the LLC. There's the Articles of Incorporation. There's the operating agreement. And then we went and finally got our bank account. We have our production bank account.
Yep.
The legal got filed today. Form C, done. Everybody who reserved reservations can go confirm those reservations.
You'll be getting an email shortly.
I think you probably already did get an email.
Ooh.
So
Check
check
your
that out.
invoice.
If you go to then WeFunder and you go to your profile, you can see your reservations, and then you just like click through to make it a real investment. Then you actually sign your investment contract with us, First Snow LLC.
I look forward to being in business with you.
Me too. I think now that you signed the casting contract too, I think casting is starting this week.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting.
I think it's so...
Things are happening that not that we don't have access to, but like we get work and it's already done. And we're like, wow, look at all this work.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible to not be the one making the schedule. To like be like, this is the way that this makes sense on a 12-day schedule. Okay. Back and forth with Nicely, talking about the distribution agreement, you know? I'm not making casting breakdowns for the first time ever. Somebody else is reading our script. They are going and they're making the breakdowns based on the characters in the script. I'm not doing that. You're not doing that.
No.
Somebody else is doing that.
No, I'm really looking forward to reading that.
Me too. That sounds very interesting. It is wildly different. And then birthdays on top of that. Happy birthday.
Hey, thanks.
And then our kiddo birthday.
Yeah.
It's a miracle you guys are a
right
week
up.
apart. I thought she was going to just
She was due on my
nullify
birthday.
your birthday
Yep.
forever. I thought she was going to arrive to make sure
But
that your
she-
birthday never counted again.
Oh, so kindly detained for 1 week.
Yeah.
And then they're like, time to go.
And she's getting out of there.
Last time we were just doing everything. So I also kind of wasn't clear on like what being a producer is besides everything. And now I know that it's everything, but I understand it more clearly.
Yeah, the label of producer is so weird. There's so many logistics. We're also talking to a city, want to shoot in and want to decorate a block in Christmas in April, you know? Can we decorate their block for 3 days?
Yeah.
You know, talking to John from Throughline, Very Merry, he was like, here's who controls the actual roadway. And then here's who controls the sidewalks and easements. And then here's who controls this alley here. This business is owned by this, but this, and then we got to get these people to all agree where we're going to be allowed to not only film, but put our camera. So we can put our camera here and we can point it in this direction. The nuts and bolts of making a larger movie.
Yeah.
It's a much larger scope of like paperwork and bureaucracy, and it's kind of thrilling. You know? It's really interesting to see.
I'm having a great time.
This movie is like twice as big as our last movie, and it is in scope to do the thing right. Like heads of departments are getting paid for prep. That's something we've never ever been able to do before. Never been able to do that before.
Nope.
But that's how it's done when you're making a movie with people who have done this before.
Yeah.
This train is moving.
Yep.
And
We're
now-
about to be money out.
Yes, money is about to be spent
first,
on this.
For the first time.
With the idea that WeFunder is going to cross the finish line.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whatever happens is going to happen. Awesome. But we now finally, now that the Form C is filed, means that we are a publicly accessible company on WeFunder to the larger investing community.
Welcome in, public investors.
Welcome,
Come on
public-
in.
Come join us. Come have a good time with us. We're going to give you more updates as we go along. I got to edit this.
Okay.
Cool. Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.